Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And one of the things that Peter loves to do on this channel, well, not talk about myself in the third person. I hate when people do that. One of the things I love to do on this channel, is book tag videos. But I started to love coming up with book tags, right? I think it's really, really fun to come up with original book tags. And I was thinking about this today and I was like, I think I'm gonna start trying to do an original book tag like every week or every other week, kind of like a school project back in the day. But if you've done any of the book tags that I've done in the past, like the worst book tag ever, which you have to kind of do somewhere, like you just have to kind of do it like you're laying in bed or something. And then there's always kind of like, there's like these side notes to all of my book tags. And then the other one that I did was the scavenger book tag, which I really didn't think anybody would do. And I still to this day remember watching Lala from Books and Lala. She's like, I just literally watched her video for the second time where her husband picks out her books. It is one of the cutest videos I've ever seen, just to see her reactions when he pulls out the books, especially The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. But anyway, she did the video, and I remember watching her, and I was like, oh, I got so nervous. I was like, oh my God, she's doing my tag, and then it was like really hard to do, and I thought, did I create this really hard tag? So guess what? I created another really hard tag because I like tags that like take some thought to them. Usually I like sit down and I'm just like, I answer the questions. And so for me to do a tag, those are the ones that I love to do. But I like to create tags that are a little bit more difficult than that. So today, welcome to the 6 Degrees of Separation book tag. And I looked on YouTube all over and I couldn't find any other 6 Degrees of Separation book tag. So I don't know if it's ever been done. If it has, I apologize for stealing your idea. I didn't mean it to be that way. So do you guys know the whole idea of 6 Degrees of Separation? I'm gonna link a video below that explains it. If you guys don't understand, it's like a 5-minute video. But the whole idea of 6 Degrees of Separation is that you are linked with whoever by 6 degrees of separation, okay? So that means that like you could pick any movie star, any author, you could pick J.K. Rowling, for example, right? Or you could pick Kim Kardashian, or do we consider her a movie star? I mean, she's not a movie star, but you know, like, well, I read some kind of movies, right? But anyway, you could pick anybody in the entire world. You could pick me, and then we are divided by 6 people or less. Does that make sense? So it's like, let's say if you are like really good friends with Dylan, the Reader 5, Dylan lives in Columbus, Indiana. I live in Indiana, so we know each other, and so does that make sense? Okay. But the whole implication is that it's typically 6 people to connect each other. And there was even a game that came out of this called 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Do you guys remember that game? That everybody in the world supposedly is within 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, the actor. Not one of my favorite actors, although I did watch The Following. Okay. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be funny to pick out like 2 of my favorite books, but that had absolutely nothing to do with each other, and see if there was any way by 6 books that I could connect them. And really, it comes out to 7 books, because if you go and you look the graphs at how people do, like the video below will explain it, it's like you have this book, and then you have this person, and you have the other person that you're gonna be separated by, and then there's 5 people in between. Does that make sense? So it's you and 5 people to them. So it's really, okay. But anyway, so there will be 7 books that you're gonna use. And what you're gonna do is you wanna pick 2 completely separate books that have nothing to do with each other. I don't care how you pick these books. I originally was gonna do Romeo and Juliet because I remember taking an English class, like English comp class, when I was a freshman in college, and I remember my professor saying, really past Romeo and Juliet, there were no original ideas ever again in books. And so I thought it was kind of an interesting concept, and so I thought I would try to do it from there, but instead I decided to pick my favorite book of all time, and you guys all know what that is. It's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and I'm actually, you know, I said I was group reading this month. I stick to what I say. So, sometimes. So, I am reading this right now. I'm actually listening to the audio version by Sissy Spacek. You guys, I forget so much of this book. It's so interesting, like, as I'm listening to it, there's so much of it that, like, I'm like, I don't remember that. And it's because it wasn't in the movie, right? And I think of the movie as being just exactly like the book. And it's not. And so much of Go Set a Watchman references To Kill a Mockingbird. So anyway, that's on a side note. So if you're reading it with me, I'm loving it. I'm about a third of the way into it right now. So my first book is going to be To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And I'm going to show in 6 Degrees of Separation how that book is completely connected to, are you ready? Another one of my favorites that probably will surprise people, but it's probably in my top 5, is Lucky by Jackie Collins, okay? So you probably are asking yourself, what do these books have to do with each other? Now, if you guys don't know, I'm going to kind of like, I don't know who doesn't know about these books, so I'm going to read the backgrounds of the books, because the other thing to this is that, you know, the whole idea is that we want to introduce each other to new books, okay? So rule number 1 is you have to come up with 7 books total. Your first book, your last book, to see how these are, connected, what 5 books in between connect them. And the other thing is you can never use the same 2 things, and I'll show you in just a second what I mean. And what I mean by that is, like, let's just say if these books both came out in the year 2000, okay, you've already used books that came out in the same year, so you can never use that one again. Does that make sense? So you have to come up with different things for each of the connections. So if you don't know about these books, let me just kind of read this to you really the back of it. To Kill a Mockingbird, the unforgettable classic, it says, To Kill a Mockingbird now celebrates 25 years, okay. The story of a childhood in a sleepy southern town and the crisis of race and conscience that rocked it. The novel is read and enjoyed over the world. Okay, so this is, you guys know about Scout and Jim and Dill. If you haven't read this book, you need to read this book. Okay, and then Lucky by Jackie Collins. With the sensual grace of a panther, Lucky Santangelo prowled her Las Vegas casino restless, ready, eager for action. That night began a dazzling odyssey filled with dangerous passion and sun-drenched sex, sadistic vengeance, and breathless suspense. From the decadent luxury of California to Paris, New York, and a private Greek island, Lucky fought for her father's honor. For ruthless triumph, for the wild card of fabulous love, her rivals, an ice-cold Hollywood wife, a much-married heiress strung out on cocaine, a jaded magnate hooked on power, a crazed hoodlum lusting for murder, but Lucky was a gambler and a lover. A woman who ruled her empire and pursued her man with the potent Santangelo's strength, her way, on her terms, whatever the odds. Jackie Collins stops the sensational success of Hollywood Wives and Chances with Lucky. So hot, it will have to be printed on asbestos. You guys, this book really is that good. But I kind of had forgotten how good it really was. It's so hot. Okay, so anyway, but you have to ask yourself, how do these books really have anything to do with each other? Well, I'm going to show you. So let's get right into this. Are you ready? Peekaboo. Okay. So my first book is To Kill a Mockingbird. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and like just pick other books. You're going to go by and go, okay, well, what book can I connect next? So I went and I found Barbara Kingsglover's The Poisonwood Bible. And I was like, hold on a second, I got notes all over this kind of stuff. Because both To Kill a Mockingbird and The Poisonwood Bible, do you guys know? Are you ready? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. What's the connection? Do you know? You can play along too, kids. They both won Pulitzer Prizes. Okay, so this one in 1961, and I have my little notes here, and The Poisonwood Bible won in 1999. And I have to tell you, I think I read The Bean Trees, but I've never read this book, and so many people have told me to read this book. So if you don't know what The Bean Trees is about, or The Poisonwood Bible, told by the wife and the daughters of Nathan Price, it's ripped, so I can only see part of it. Evangelical Baptist who takes his family and mission to the Belgian Congo in 1959. They carry with them everything they believe they will need from home, but soon find that all of it, from garden seeds to scripture, is calamitously transformed on African soil. What follows is a suspenseful epic of one family's tragic undoing and remarkable reconstruction over the course of 3 decades in post-colonial Africa. The novel is set against one of the most dramatic political chronicles of the 20th century, the Congo's fight for independence from Belgium. The murder of its first elected prime minister, the CIA coup to install his replacement, and the insidious progress of a world economic order that robs the fledgling African nation of its autonomy. Taking its place alongside the classic works of post-colonial literature, this ambitious novel establishes Kingsglover as one of the most thoughtful and daring of modern writers. I mean, you guys, like literally people tell me this is like one of the best books they've ever read. So there you go. So you see, both Pulitzer Prize winners. That's the connection. So we can put To Kill a Mockingbird down here for a second. Now, what's the next book, you might ask? And the next book, I will tell you, is William S. Burroughs' Naked Lunch. So should we read the back of it first? A landmark of literature and possibly the most shocking novel in the English language, Naked Lunch is an exhilarating ride into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Told with wit and humor by Bill Lee, an Ivy League-educated narcotics addict, it is the story of his flight south from New York to the drug and sex-soaked retreats in Tangiers where ambiguous good and enticing evil vie for the human soul. Welcome to Inner Zone. I have not read this book either, but I saw the movie years and years and years ago, and it was very weird. Do you guys remember it? So anyway, you must be asking yourself, what do these books have in common? Na, 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 na. Well, I'll just tell you, okay? In this book, they move from Georgia to Africa. And in this book, he moves from New York to Tangiers, which is by Morocco. So in both of them, they move from the United States to other countries. So see? You have to be creative. Come on, you guys. You're book lovers. You can think this stuff up. Okay, so that's the connection. Goodbye. We love you, Barbara. We'll see you later. So the next book, and you guys are going to love what I picked to see what could what possibly could be connected to William S. Burroughs. And, I was just trying to figure out what the connection was because I was like, oh, what's the connection? And that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. So, what could these two books possibly have in common? Na 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 na. You'll never guess this one. Na 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 na. Okay. Well, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone came out in 1997, which is the same year that William S. Burroughs passed away. Sorry, William. So, that's how they're connected by the same year of 1997. This came out and he passed away. He's a really interesting life. Do you guys know much about him? I actually had to do a whole seminar on him in one of my classes because my undergraduate degree is in English, and like one of the most prolific writers that at the same time like was so scowled for what he wrote. So if you've never checked out William S. Burroughs, you should. Okay. All right. So we love you, William. Oh, by the way, there was this movie and it was called, what was it called? Cowboy Junkies? No, that was the band. Shoot. Anyway, it was with Matt Dillon and they used to rob, like, what do you call it? Like, they would rob pharmacies for pills. What was that movie called? Cowboy something. But anyway, at the very end of it, William Burroughs is actually in it, and he plays an addict that's passing away at the end of it because a lot of his work has a lot to do with drugs and things like that. So, and he was also an addict himself. So the next, you must ask yourself, what possible connection to get closer to Lucky by Jackie Collins does Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone have? And that, my dear, is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Is it Moyes or is it Moyes? I don't know. Moyes? I like Moyes better. Anyway, this is a really easy one. Do you guys know what it is? They both live in England, or they're both born in England. Okay, so Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Jojo Moyes were both born in England. So, we love you, Harry. We love you, JK. We'll see you later. Joke. Okay. Did you guys read this book? Oh, it's so good, wasn't it? I did not love this book. It kind of wore me out a little bit. Although I did love Lou. I did. But it was a little too much. The movie was okay. I mean, it just was so tragic and sad, wasn't it? So what's the next book? And you know, I had to work this book in here because this is a really easy connection. And that is Dumpling by Julie Murphy. Do you know what the connection is? Na 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 na. Okay, well, Julie Murphy, Jojo Moyes, JM, they're both JM names. Sure. How did you figure that out? Well, I looked in the bookshelf until I figured out what connection I could have with these two books that I wanted to put in my video. So, if you don't know what, Me Before You, y'all know what Harry Potter is about, right? If you don't, Google it. Okay. So, Me Before You, Louisa Clark is an ordinary girl living an exceedingly ordinary life, steady boyfriend. She becomes a nurse assistant, kind of, to this guy. It's very sad. I don't know. I didn't love it. Sorry. Okay. But Dumpling I absolutely loved, and it's about Willow Dean, and she has body image issues, and she's overweight, and she enters a beauty pageant, and it's fantastic, and it's becoming a movie, and there's a sequel coming out. I just found out. I love Julie Murphy so much. This book, oh, there she is in her gown, and then look in the back in her bathing suit. I just love this book so much. Okay. So, but you must be asking yourself, truly, at this point, at 14 minutes and 40 seconds, Peter, What does Dumpling have anything to do with Jackie Collins Lucky? Did you guys not remember what I read about Lucky? But Lucky was a gambler and a lover, a woman who ruled her empire and pursued her man with a potent Sant'Angelo strength. Her way, on her terms, whatever the odds. And that is basically the same as Willow Dean, who is Dumpling and Dumpling. Is they are both strong-willed women, and I love them for it. So that is the connection between these two books, is that their main characters are both strong-willed women. And there you have it, my folks. My folks. Hold on a second. There you have it, folks. The 6 degrees of separation of To Kill a Mockingbird to Jackie Collins Lucky. That was a fun one, don't you think? Are you guys going to do it? Okay. It's really easy, but it's kind of fun to come up with the clues. I mean, I know it's really like, you could have just picked like 2 books and basically said, okay, they both come out in the same year. It's 1 degree of separation, but what's the fun in that? So it's 6 degrees of separation. You have to have 7 books total. Pick out 2 books first. That's the first thing you want to do. You don't want to pick out all your books first, or that's a cheater. Don't be a cheater. And then you want to figure out the clues in between. It's real fun. It took me literally, you guys, like 15 minutes, so it won't take you that long. Do Post-its, and then you'll have all your notes, and then you'll know how to do it. You can make your video, and it's real fun. Who am I going to tag in this? Well, I'm going to tag Books and Lala, because I love Lala so much. I'm going to tag Julia Sapphire, who's like my new favorite booktuber. I'm going to tag Cam at Wolf Shop Publishing, but he just announced tonight on Twitter that he was maybe going to take a break from YouTube for a while. I am going to tag Connor O'Brien, because I just watched his makeup challenge, and it was so adorable. We'll see if he does it. I'm going to also tag, let's see, who else should I tag? Lily C. Reeves. I would love to see what she would do with this one. And I'll tag anybody else that wants to do it, so how about it? Dylan the Reader 5, I always tag him. Graham, Mega Man Chief Fan. Crystal the Bookworm. Crystal has a book coming out, y'all. Crystal has a book coming out. We're going to be reading it on this channel because this is another booktuber, and you know I support that. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.